be able to have
And in
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Isn't he Mexican?
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home. That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful. You mean it's not?
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home. That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
You like that little transition? Ripping through the black screen. How they all doing, huh? Complicated business, folks. Hold on. I like when Hank says that. Hold up, folks. I think you can hear me. I know the volume was low for the intro there, but I'm getting the thumbs up here. Sounding like you could hear me. How about that other issue, Bill? Is that fixed? It doesn't matter, I guess, huh? Here, how's this audio, folks? Nothing. Oh, it is playing, but super low. I'm playing from Wirecast, Bill. I was just playing.
But you see, it's coming in right.
That's very strange. Really folks, thank you for the patience. Thank you so much. We are on. This is American Anchor Baby. I am the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Welcome, folks. How y'all doing? Waking up loud and clear, low, but I think my mic is okay. So we are okay. We're gonna live. We're gonna be fine. How you doing, folks? It's Wednesday, October 18th. Okay, gonna get going here. A lot of echoes. We can hear you on the mic. Great. Thank you, Rumble. I'm seeing you over there on Rumble, giving me the thumbs up that we can get this going. King of Graduates over there in the chat. Thank you, Ohio Sentinel Moldegrew. What's up, TJ Hilliard? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What's up, everybody over here on YouTube? You know, you wanna chill out here on YouTube? That's fine too. We got a party over there on Rumble, rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. But I see y'all over here in YouTube, the YouTube chat. Thank you. Supporting, always in there. My viewers here. 3 quiet. So am I still quiet? Oh, Mike, good. Thank you. Great. I do appreciate the patience. I want to get it straight before we get going here, because we got a nice show ahead. Wars starting everywhere. The fronts, war. It's funny how wars started in the world, but the wars are everywhere. Okay, sounding good. Nice. Thank you, y'all. Like the way I sign out multiple times. I'll say hello to the folks here in the show a few times before we get going. So hi once more. So we got some show ahead. We'll be getting into a number of things here. What's on my mind today? Things that I've found interesting. So we'll be running it down today a little bit. It's been a loosey-goosey week, but I think interesting. And we'll be doing also your calls, 888-775-3773. If you want to jump on the line, get it off your chest, whatever you want to talk about, go ahead. Jump in. Thank you. Right on, y'all. Everything good? Maybe?
No, you have to play something.
I don't think I'll be playing anything from Wirecast, but thanks, Bill. Folks. Doing a little inside baseball here. How about we get going, huh? You know, wars starting everywhere, huh? They started everywhere in the world physically, but they are happening around us, folks. It's an interesting time, really. It's time to pay attention to ourselves. There's no faith or love in the world, okay? No one's coming to save you. You got to do the work. You got to be serious about your own life. You know, they've made Christians in this country believe that your problem is someone else. They've made Christians believe that the way we got into this mess, America, they've made you believe that someone else made you watch the porn, made you angry, traumatized. They've made you believe, Americans commonly believe, whatever you are, Christian, liberal, but Americans commonly believe that the problems to their life is someone else. So, Bill giving Nick the stink eye. No, he's doing it. Things are going. I see your calls coming in. I will be taking calls, like I said, 888-775-3773. Call it what you like. But they've made Christians believe that your issues are someone else's fault. And, you know, we talk about all sorts of stuff on this show. On my show, I'm pretty clear with you guys. I'm pretty open. I'm pretty clear. Pretty straight up about the things I don't, you know, everything. But one thing we don't do is blame. And we go hard in the paint on anyone blaming. That's really the MO, okay? If there's any kind of mission, anything here, let's talk about anything, folks. Call me and let's talk it out. What's on your mind? What's got you mad? What's got you peeved? What are you thinking about the world? What's got you going? But you start blaming, you call my show, you start blaming, that's when we circle the wagons, because we are about love, okay? We're about love and understanding. So we circle the wagons and we say, no, stop blaming because you're going down a bad path. So, gotta love it. You know, I was crossing there's this main intersection right near Bond here, okay? Right here in the heart of Pico La Ciénaga. And it's a busy intersection. It's nuts, especially when the day gets going and I want to cross the street to get me some drinkies and snackies. I do love my drinkies and snackies, especially right as the JLP show's over and we get going with the Hake Report. I want to sit in my chair, sit back, get the crunchy and Coca-Cola, drinkies and snackies, watch the Hake Report. Yeah, get the day going. Pretty much got my show kind of pretty much done by that point. And I cross to go to the Shell, and it's always so busy. I'm watching because I saw someone die. And I didn't know they died, but I pretty much saw someone who was dying or a dead man not too long ago, a couple months ago in June. I saw a man die or in the midst of dying because he was with his family. It was a man, a woman, and a son, looked like a son. I find out later he's 19 years old, so he's a man. And what happened was, as I'm in my car pulling out of Bond, busy intersection, and there's a crash. There's an accident. There's a big crash. And I will get to calls. Just be patient. 888-775-3773. This car had ended up crashing into this family, taking a left. You'll know that you can look up the story. It was a Chase Bank. This car, this black Hyundai, crashed into this Chase Bank, and I was in the intersection of my car, just about to, waiting for the green light, and I see mess. I see everybody like, oh my God. I'm a sick person. I could have taken a right. I kept going straight. I'm kind of a sick person. I admit it. But I drove by, and there was a man beneath the vehicle. People were crying, etc. Look up the news story later. The man actually ended up passing away. Ended up dying. 51-year-old man. His seemed like his wife or something was hurt. And the news story says he was the wife was also hurt, but she didn't lose her life. 19-year-old son seemed to be also injured, but fine. Just a little moment that happened that I sort of witnessed. I'm telling you this because there's something going on with pedestrians, but also more importantly with fear. And I wanted to just kind of make a little dumb point about it, okay? Then we'll get into calls. We'll get into whatever y'all want to talk about, okay? And more fun stuff in the show itself. And war. Everybody wants war. But check it out. This is the news story I'm talking about.
News from Carthay, where crews are responding to a crash involving
Do we got
pedestrians.
little Nick on board?
Gil Davis is over the scene in Sky 5. Gil.
Mike and share, it's a single car crash.
Yeah, this is the intersection.
The curb here. This is at
now. There were no fire trucks, so this was already after. I had already crossed by this point.
Pico Boulevard in La Cienega. LA City Fire responded here right about 5:30 to this accident. Now, when they arrived, they found 3 pedestrians trapped by the vehicle against this Chase Bank. I can tell you that a 48-year-old female, a 51-year-old male were both transported in critical condition to a local hospital. Also, a 19-year-old male was also transported in fair condition to the hospital as a result of this.
This is my stomping ground. I usually go across to go to the subway. I go to the subway that's a little bit more it's a little bit more north. There's a little subway around the corner. I go to it. I gotta say, that subway over the years has been a source of cheap subs, and I'm thankful. I may have overreacted one time, though, and they just drenched my sub over and over again with just all sorts of sauce and mayo, and I'm like, just one line. I would tell them very nicely, just one little line of mayo, and then just a whole bunch. And one day I just walked out. I literally just walked out. I'm like, oh, okay, so you don't want to make me the sandwich. Okay. Just like ruin it. Just since then, I've returned with my tail between my legs. I'll be honest. Okay, maybe I overreacted, but they're nice people, and they seem to have gotten their ducks in order. So shout out to that subway on Pico La Cienega. Hit them up. They switched up their style. They're very nice. They're very nice now. They got a nice slicer. Anyways, why am I doing an ad about Subway right now? Whew, let's get back to the show. This man died. And I'm telling you this because check this out. That crosswalk is crazy. That crosswalk is crazy. You gotta watch it. You gotta be crossing. I'm watching my back. I'm checking my corners. I'm making sure I'm locking eyes with people taking right turns. You see me, right? Okay, good. People are crazy out here. People are crazy. California speed cameras uptick in pedestrian deaths for the first time to slow the uptick of pedestrian deaths in the state. So it is. It's not just it wasn't just at Pico La Cienega. It seems to be an uptick all around. People be dying out here. They're getting hit by cars. But who is driving these cars? Who's driving these cars? Can we get the stats? Can we get the demographics on? Okay, maybe that's a long lost time, and we'll never. Maybe that's not something we can ask for anymore. Maybe those days are gone. But can we? Okay, how about this? Can we get a toxicologies something here, because we got pot stores everywhere. Look at this. 4 women dead on Malibu's Pacific Coast Highway after driver loses control and smashes into parked cars. What is going on? What is going on? California's got people dying. Okay. People losing control of their cars. What are we going to do, folks?
Yeah,
I'm
and
thinking
me and
people
Micah,
are high
we can
a
tell you
bit.
this is a very gruesome scene with multiple cars involved and
Gruesome
multiple people ejected from those cars. Want to show you a live look behind us of the aftermath of this crash. You can see the vehicle there in the distance, just how impacted it was by this crash. Again, LA County fire officials and LA County sheriff's deputies are out here investigating this crash that happened earlier tonight. LA County fire officials confirming 4 people were killed in the crash, 2 patients patients were transported
Amazing.
to a nearby hospital. We could take you to video from Sky
Any,
5,
any,
which was
any info
above
on the people driving? Because like, what are we talking here? Can we get the toxicologies? Can that just be mandatory? Because people are here driving weapons. They're driving weapons into pedestrians. You gotta watch your back. You gotta watch your back. Dodge Challenger plunges into canal after see what? Look, I'm just running down some news here. And so I was thinking about when I cross, okay, because this actually has nothing to do with uptick in pedestrian deaths, okay? That's a little crazy, but you know, they want to put these speed cameras, that might help. I think maybe dealing with all the pot stores on every corner might help a little bit. I also remember remarking early on when I started living in LA, the traffic seemed particularly, I used to call it, I used to say, this is some third world traffic. I used to remark about LA. Anyways, take that however you will. But I was remembering how I cross, and I'm like very careful, right? And I look around, and I'll get these thoughts. Telling me, yeah, you're so careful. Right on, you got your head on a swivel. Yeah, you probably look so careful to people. It's really silly. It's really stupid. It's really stupid. I pay it no mind. They're just thoughts. But they're like, but the thoughts are like, yeah. Watch your back. People can see how careful you. People can see you got your head on a swivel. This is someone you want on your side. It's really silly. It's really stupid. If you're following me at all. And I remember another interesting, silly thing I do on this very show. And I'm going over some of my footage. And I feel like I may have mentioned this before and then forgot. And this is a point towards awareness, why you should be aware. But I do this a lot. Have you guys noticed? Come on, y'all, have some love for your host and hit me with hey, Nick, keep your mind where your body is. Have some love for your host when you see him out of his body. His mind is not with his body, pulling his shirt like a maniac. I'm like pulling. It's the strangest thing. But it's actually not that strange. I know exactly why I do it. Not only is it unawareness, that's clear. And I know many of you know about awareness, right? Being in the moment, being in the present, here, now, because where's yesterday, where's tomorrow? They say God is in the present. You ever heard that before? God is in the moment, they say. There's a reason they say that. There's a real deep truth to that. You're in the moment, right? And so you know about awareness. But also, it's like, it's fear and identity. Okay, let me demonstrate. Maybe this means nothing to you. This may be a shot in the dark. This means nothing. But the pulling the shirt thing is actually a great demonstration of identity and fear. Okay? I remember my first bully ever. I actually remember my first bully. Ever. My first bully. I was living in Canada. I'm an anchor baby from Canada. And I'll get to calls. Thanks for the patience. I'm an anchor baby from Canada, right? I'm growing up in Canada, and I'm in middle school. I was what? Grade 5? I think I was around grade 5. The 5th grade for Americans. And I had made friends, and I lived in an apartment building with my family, obviously. And we took a school bus. I took a school bus from the apartment to school and back. And I made a friend on the bus who lived in the building. Except I made 2 friends. Oh, I made one friend on that bus. He was an older kid. He was like in grade 8. So he was an old kid. I was like, ooh, scary. He was like the older kid. Grade 8, we're in the bus. We made friends in the back of the bus because we lived in the same building. We were different grades and all that. So we didn't really see each other at school, but we were friends on the bus and we came back. And I always knew he was kind of a bad kid. He was a bit of a bad kid. Okay, bad influence. And I remember being, what grade? I think I was grade 4, actually. I remember him being a bad influence because I was still a little bit kind of, cool with Jesus at this time. I was cool with Jesus. I was because I would go to church with the family, and they'd put me in the youth church, and the youth church pastors told me, "You're a wise man if you bring. Wise is the man who brings sheep to the pasture," something like that, some verse. And I thought, I need to bring my friend, this bad friend, I need to bring him to church. Then I'll be a wise man. I will be that wise man. I've said this story before too, I think, when I actually did end up convincing him to come to church, and I made this speech as a little kid, all this ego. Ladies and gentlemen, I am that wise man. I swear I did all this. What a mess. Anyways, the bad kid, we made friends, and I remember he'd pick up like a cigarette butt. Like there would be this nasty already smoked cigarette butts under a bush somewhere. And he'd be like, hey, check this out. Brought out a lighter and smoked this like already smoked cigarette butt. And I'd be like, no, don't do that. And I slapped it out of his hand. Be like, no, stop. You can't do that, man. Get a hold of yourself. I was kind of dramatic as a kid. I was kind of a little, I had sisters. Don't judge me. But I stayed boyish. I don't know how. I had sisters, but I stayed a boy. I was like super boyish. Anyways. So maybe this means nothing to you, but I'll keep going. So my first bully, he lived in the same building. He was friends with the bad kid. But I loved going over because he had video games. He had really cool video games. And I'd go over and I'd take the abuse just to play the video games. It'd be like teasing me like, haha, you can't do this. Or it was really dumb. And there was that building had a pool. And I was kind of a chubby kid. And I remember when I took off my shirt, they made fun of me. And that's why, folks. That's why the shirt pulling, it's not even that's why anymore, because that's long gone. But that cycle of emotion and thought and like, oh, I'm embarrassed by it. Let me pull my shirt so you can't see my man titties. I mean, my boobies. Oops. Sorry, kids. And so, but it's not even that anymore. It's just like a learned emotional response that you never really had the awareness of. But once you catch it, you start flipping it around. Okay, like watching the footage of your own show and seeing, why am I pulling my shirt? That's fear, folks. That's what fear is. Do you know what that fear is? When you're crossing the street and you got to smile to someone. You've heard Jesse say it. When you just smile and you don't want to. That's fear. Am I making sense, folks? Anyways, that's the story of my first bully. But what's awesome about my first bully, he was never even that bad. But the chubby thing, I was like, that was trauma. But I remember overcoming my first bully too. It was soon after we were playing video games one day, and I learned his last name was Butts. Oh, it was over for him. Oh, it was over. Butts. Jay Butts. I won't say his name. I learned his last name was Butts, and I'm like, hey, Jay, when you were born, I bet you they didn't even know which side to slap. And he was mad. I could see it in his face. He was so mad. He was peeved. He couldn't say anything. He didn't know what to say to me. And I was like, oh, this is easy. And it's just, that was over. So, that's just a little story about fear and thoughts and blah, blah, blah. Hope you enjoyed that. Never again, right? Says Rome 13 in the chat says, never again. Right, Rome 13. I'll never let anyone do that to me. No, Rome, I'm just joking. That's not overcoming trauma. Jay Butts just recently finishing his therapy and tuned into Nick Stream for the first time today. 20 years of progress ruined in a day. Hey, Jay, remember me? Huh? Bet you they forgot which side to slap, huh? Nick, he was just pre-bullying you because he knew what was coming. Yeah, maybe Jay Butts. They were actually saving me a little bit, huh? You gotta bully. You gotta, bullying's cool, huh? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with a little bullying, especially when it allows for moments like that, when I learned his last name was Butts, and I realized he actually had no power over me. Look at that. What are you guys saying in the chat? Is that a bad word, Mr. Pink? I think I said a bad word. My bad. The future does not exist. The past already happened. Can't do nothing about it. Thank you, Mr. Pink. People out here believing lies. Folks, let's get to this call. Let's get right into these calls. We're going to get into some fun stuff and stories and all that. But amazing times, don't y'all agree? Daniel, Texas, you're on the air. Thank you for calling my show.
Thank you for having me, Nick.
Appreciate it.
My question for you is about the dating scene and what you think about the dating scene right now.
Oh, man. The dating scene. I don't envy youngins. Because my time's over. You know what I mean? My time's up.
What? Wait.
I'm old
how
news. No, I'm joking. I'm 28, 29 maybe. I forget.
No, you're just starting.
But I don't envy the whole scene because it's like a mess. It's all like, it's a mess. It's like ego. And, I mean, I don't envy it. I've seen this. I've been seeing this notion going around that if you're a guy and you're not getting, multiple women and having sex with multiple women, that's not attractive, right? Because it's like, oh wow, so that means you're not like you're not likable, you're not desirable. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole culture behind it now, and you got to have the Instagram. You got to be cool. You got to have the Riz. It seems so gamified and also very gamified and very what's it called? Just kind of tame down and kind of lame. Am I making sense?
But I don't see the guys that are. I think the guys are exaggerating about how many girls they get. I think there's a vast exaggeration.
But you got to look like you get girls. Is my point. I mean, it's always been like that, but it just seems to be more about that. Maybe I'm just talking about age.
I don't know what that looks like nowadays, because nowadays it seems like you have to be a professional football player. And like, I just don't even know what the
a professional football player to what?
To be viable in the dating scene.
What makes you say that?
Because all the divorces, everything's it's a mess. When every time I would date, and to give you a little bio of myself, I'm average looking, and I have an average income, and like it shouldn't be such a nightmare. But it's all single mothers. It's all women, women that are they got real problems.
You're saying it's difficult because it's all single mothers. How old are you?
I'm about. Well, I'm about in my. I'm just about 40.
Gotcha. You ever been married before?
No.
Gotcha. Well, that's why they're all single mothers, man.
Yeah, but I mean, even when I was dating, I was working so hard, I just didn't have time for it all, and none of it really appealed to me. Settling down and I was always traveling. I never had a very stable existence. So, and that was a choice. I made that choice. But I mean, there's no reason why, most guys, because I see that it seems that most guys are, just have this total uphill battle.
I remember what you were saying now. Yeah, you were saying, yeah, that's right. You were saying you got to be a football player and all this. And you were saying your reasoning for that is what again? You're
I
saying
don't
you're
know.
telling me
What
there's
I'm
women
saying
that
is-
you're dating that are single mothers and they got issues. You're saying those women are holding out for football players?
I would say that those women are holding out for.
Do
because
they know
got
their situation? Do they know their situation? Do they have a mirror? Do they have a? You know what I'm saying?
No, they don't know their own situation. They don't see it that way because there's any number of guys that will be their Prince Charming willingly.
That's so true. What a mess. But you're not, so I guess it doesn't matter or bother you because other than the fact that I guess it's difficult to find a single woman that's not a mother. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what to think, to be honest. I don't know if I should just.
I don't
be
think
like,
it's that, man. I don't think it's that they're waiting for football players. I mean, there is, I don't know, social media and kind of like the what we get, the image of the scene that we get through, I guess, celebrities and social media. But there's regular people out here hitching up, man. They are. There's regular people here. They're still hitching up. Yeah, I know the birth rates are low. People out here still hitching up, though. The boys and the girls, age old, right?
I guess.
They're just using a birth control or something.
I don't. Well, all I'm saying is, from my perspective, it's a train wreck. I don't want to deal with any of these women, and I don't know of any means by which to find any decent women.
Find decent women. Are you decent though? Like, I don't think that should be like a
yes.
Because like a decent guy, you know what I mean? Like let's not even put aside like how is he seeking the right thing? A guy, you know, you got some income, you got something going on. Even it's not even that much, but you got something going on. Like there's women, man. The women will come. So, are you saying you're having difficulty here because, or maybe your standards are too high? What's going on? Do you need a looks match?
Well, I need to stop living around blacks. Probably for starters.
You're not finding any white women.
And the white women are all dating blacks.
Oh, man.
And it's probably because I just live around a bunch of blacks, and that's kind of my existence. But the reason I do that is to save money.
Well, you got to pick, save money or a white woman. No, no, that's a joke, man, because you don't have to pick. You don't have to do anything. It's really, I think you already know this. You're making a mistake doing any kind of searching and pining after a woman. It's just the wrong foot forward, man. You know this. Like, no woman wants that.
It definitely was.
You got to do your own thing. And all of that comes. All of that comes with time. All of that comes in its right moment because you know, the women come when you got things going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's no problem.
Man, dude, I'm telling you. I don't know.
Tell him you're a forklift driver.
Bro, I'm doing pretty well.
That gets him going.
I'm doing pretty well. And the thing is, I'm just not seeing it out of these women. And you're right, they do come, but
right. You don't want. You're like this is not what I want though.
I'm not here to fall on that sword. Right? Like, I'm not going to fall on this single mother sword. I'm not going to fall on this, you know, this baggage stuff.
Amazing. Yo, so you know what you must do now, right?
Move away from the blacks?
No.
I don't know.
Just don't fall on the sword. Do you really need a sword that bad? Of course, if you're missing the analogy, sword is a woman. Do you need a woman that bad? You know what you must do now, right? Nothing. Just don't pick one. You already said I'm not going to take one for the team. Fall on the sword and get. So the question, I guess, here, because now you know what you got to do. I mean, now you know the answer. Pick none of them because, like you said, they're coming, but I don't want any of these. So the answer's clear. Don't pick anyone. So now the only question that remains, I guess, is are you knowing that you must pick none of them? How are you feeling about that?
It feels better not having to want to, you know, find a woman.
Oh, and you don't even want to?
Well, I'm saying it feels better when I'm not looking.
Right. So you're free.
And I think most guys feel that way.
We got a free caller, folks.
I think most people most guys feel that way. The juice is not worth the squeeze.
But you see my point in that now that you know the juice is not worth the squeeze, there is no conflict anymore. You're free. There's no there's no problem. There is no, I wonder why there are no good women. What's wrong? What do I have to do? There's nothing you have to do. All is well.
Yep.
Unless when faced with this reality, your reaction is, but why? Why? I really want one. Then your question must be, why do I want one so bad?
Why am I drowning in these blacks?
Because you're trying to save money.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Stay on purpose, man. You already got the mission.
Yeah,
you said you're saving money. Are you done saving money?
Well, I'm never
There I go,
done
pulling my
saving
shirt.
money.
Stay aware.
I'm never done saving money, so.
So I guess you're always going to live around the blacks?
I need to overcome the saving the money.
Maybe
that's it. Go into debt.
Folks, we've arrived to the true question. This is amazing. You got to overcome wanting to save that badly.
You have to go into debt.
Wait, hold on. Back up. Maybe you don't got to do that. Maybe sleep on it for a little bit more.
All right, you got to break even.
Maybe. Right on, Daniel. Well, it's been interesting. Thank you. Anything else you want to say? I'm sorry if I wasn't of any help, but it's interesting.
No, that was entertaining.
Thank you,
All right,
sir.
That's it.
And no, don't be looking. You know this.
Okay.
Take care, Daniel. Call me again.
Okay, bye.
Let's rock these calls. And we got interesting stuff to get into. Lucas, California, you're on the air. Thank you, sir.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Lucas. Thank you for your call.
Hey, hey, I want to ask. I asked Hake this. Like, I've realized, and it's been happening even now. I'm starting to realize. I think maybe even before Trump, that we're being colonized. That all these other countries are creating an ethno state, and every state for kind of funny. Do you realize that?
It does seem like that. What's amazing about what you're describing is that it seems to mean social engineers, city planners, leaders, evil villains, whatever you want to call them, have been trying for decades now to have this diverse society, right? But it seems like they can't break people into wanting to just naturally collect with their own. Doesn't matter how diverse the society is, you'll see enclaves of every type. Oh, little China, little Italy, whatever. And I was reporting on this the other day. There was this city planner type person over in the UK, and they were complaining on Twitter about how, and they posted this map, this demographic map of a certain neighborhood in the UK, and it showed how the neighborhood was split up by race. All the blacks collected here, all the whites collected here, et cetera, et cetera. And the person was wondering, we need to enact policies to stop this. But it betrays the irony of the whole situation that people chose to live like this despite having the freedom of a diverse society. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
Come back to your phone, Lucas. It's a little hard to hear you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me better?
Much better. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Because I just learned that, there's a lot of things. Oh, gosh. Because I know what just happened earlier, and I so I don't really want to talk about that. But I'm just saying, there's certain groups, okay, and there's certain groups that control a lot of the downfall that's going on, such as Instagram, OnlyFans, YouTube, and it's a certain type of people, and also with
them boys.
A lot of.
Wait, what are you talking about? You're saying about OnlyFans and pornography and stuff?
Oh, yeah, I'm saying there's
my bad, I cut you off. What do you want to say about that?
There's a certain culture of people. There's a certain culture, somewhere over there, around Africa, Israel. Okay, Jewish people.
I'm following.
All right, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, feel free. Speak openly.
Yeah, that have been doing this stuff.
Okay.
And they're also hiring illegals, but Asians are doing it too. Africans, especially black people, but they're hiring Africans, illegal Africans.
Can we get into one of these? So you're talking about pornography a little bit, OnlyFans, etc. Yeah. And you're talking about influence from Jewish people in those industries. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And so, what do you think about that? What do you think about that influence? And do you believe it's had a significant effect on people?
100%. And also, what I wanted to get at too is that, like, I understand. Like, see, look, I'm holding back. I get it. I cannot be angry. I cannot be mad. I don't want ill on anybody, of course, 100%. But I understand other people's, like, perception because they are doing it and laughing and smiling and partying in America. I know specific people as well, and they're Jewish. They're with he's with my sister, and then I know all of the friends and everything, his friends and all that. They have a company. They have all it. These people are hiring illegals, and I think it's sick. And I know it's not just them. I know it's also there's Arab people.
We'll get into immigration too. Thank you. Arabs, all fascinating. You're welcome to speak openly. So you're talking about Jewish people and their influence in pornography and in adult film industries. You're saying that they have influenced the American public to be into this stuff. Is that what you're saying? Why do you think America is into that? You think it's because of their influence?
No. I'm not saying they're influencing anything. I'm saying they're making money off of it.
Okay.
Off of degeneracy.
Right.
And they're supposed to be Jewish.
Strange. I understand what you mean. I think it'd be strange if someone were to say, I believe, that, you're part of this religion that's supposed to be, connected to God, etc. I understand what you're saying. It's almost a hypocrisy. But what I was asking you is, how are they influencing? Because you're saying they're making money off of degeneracy, right? And and it seems like that's a different point on that, if I may just quickly. I mean, everybody's doing that. So I don't understand.
In America, and we're talking about America. I mean, I know in Israel, no, you'll go to jail if you try to do something like that.
Did you buy anything today?
Killed.
Did you buy anything today?
No, I haven't bought anything yet today.
Did you buy anything yesterday?
Yes.
From where?
From a store.
What store?
Rite Aid.
You're supporting degeneracy. Rite Aid donates to this crap, some crap, probably. Look.
Possibly.
Okay, so that's on that point. But on Jewish influencing American public into being into adult films and pornography and all that, do you think that's significant? You think Jewish people are influencing Americans into doing that?
Oh, no. I don't know about the influencing part. I don't think that they're obviously doing whatever they can to make money off of it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're paying for advertisements and all that stuff, trying to influence it. Because
I guess my point is, just to be brief here, my point simply is, as I'm wondering, because it's one thing to say, it's one thing to point out behaviors of groups and try and get some insight about what's happening because this or that group, blah, blah, blah. Because groups are influenced by their beliefs, and groups have adhere to religions or beliefs and all the ideologies, right? And those ideologies and beliefs influence your actions. So I have no problem, I understand people wanting to point out maybe a group and all that. But it's another thing to say this group is the cause of why I got into porn. You know what I'm saying? This is the Jews made, and that's why we have a degenerate Zoomer culture, and they're all into porn. The Jews did. You know what I'm saying? It's a totally different thing. That's when you becomes blame.
Yeah. Well, for all the listeners, first of all, I've never paid a single cent to OnlyFans. All right, I'm not talking about it because it hits home to me.
Exposed.
No, I'm not talking about it because that's just one thing I just learned recently. But I'm just saying, these groups, these ethno states, they want to stay in their group. They do. I see it, physically see it. I know these groups, at least around in California. I'm pretty sure you could find it anywhere else, in any state, to be honest, except somewhere where the Second Amendment is really high up. It's like that's like the main amendment. Pretty sure you won't find those ethno states there. But what I'm saying is that what they do in America, they go to their country, and I'm not talking about just Israel. I'm talking about all these ethno states, Africa, China. China's a big one, and Mexico. Oh, that's even a bigger one. Like South America, anyone from South America, pretty much. What I'm saying is that they won't do what they do in America in their country. In fact, they're leeches. They're leeching off of America because they know that they can just leech and leech and leech and then run back to their place and then come back and leech more. And that is what's happening in America. We're not America.
Have you ever used services?
Services, yeah, and it bugs me whenever I get somebody that can't
Have you ever
speak
created
English.
a business and created jobs?
Have I created a business, created a job? No, I have not.
So you're a
No.
net negative. You're a leech.
No, I wouldn't hire a legal. I'll tell you that. Whenever
But
I
you're
do,
a leech to
whenever
the
I do.
system. You're a net negative. You're not adding. You're a
No,
leech.
I'm working on paying taxes. How am I a leech?
Oh, okay, so call me when you're not a leech anymore. Oh, you said you're working on paying taxes? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm being bombastic. I'm playing with you. It's nothing personal, but it's just easy to be like, these Jews are leeches, right?
But they are.
It's just
though,
so easy
like,
to do that. It's just like easy, low-hanging fruit that doesn't get to any understanding or truth as to why things are going. Like, okay, and I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to. Cause I don't know the facts, but I'm not going to be out here saying you can't say this about Jews. I'm not going to say that. But it's like, what truth are we getting to?
I'm just saying that.
Like for example, you said, go ahead.
They're going against cause they don't care about America. They're making money here and sending it back to their country.
Yeah, man. It's messed up.
So,
I mean,
I don't know.
we have foreign
weird.
influence. We have literal foreign governments that influence our government. Okay,
I
know
think
what you're
that's the
talking about, man.
definition
I know what you're saying. We got DeSantis. We got Ron DeSantis out here saying, I forget. I have the clip. We'll get into it. Saying every Palestinian, something like that, is like evil. We have literal U.S. government officials judging the hearts of every person, which is not a Christian thing to do, in another country because I don't know, they have some strange allegiance. I understand what you're saying, man, but we gotta stay in reality. You're calling my show to tell me these Jews are leeches. Boom.
No. I'm saying all these countries are leeches. I'm saying that we're not America. It's not just Israel. Israel just the topic right now, but Africa as well. Africa is coming. Whoa, that's actually funny. Israel is send African immigrants over here. They send illegals over here.
They want to send the
America.
Palestinians here. It's crazy.
Yeah, we got Palestinians in here too. Yeah, Palestine. We got.
I know. They want to send they want to send all the people in Gaza here as refugees.
We're an ethno country. I know that sounds funny, kind of like hyperbolic or something, but we're an ethno country. We're not even America. Why even call us America anymore? At this point in time, we're whatever city we're in and whatever language they speak. That's what we are.
We're the American Union, whatever. I don't know, like the European Union, but except it's the whole
we're
world.
whatever the people speak in that wherever you're at, whatever they speak.
Where?
It could be English, it could be Spanish, it could be African, it could be all kinds of things. It could be French, it could be freaking Israel. Oh my gosh! Like,
do you think
this is everywhere?
Do you think those countries? So what's going to fix it? What's going to fix it?
We send them out, and if they love their country so much and they want to wave those flags, we send them to their country, and they wave those flags over there, and they act how they act in America. They go over there to their country and act like that and see what happens. That just
sounds reasonable.
Raw.
Sounds reasonable to me. Sounds reasonable, man. I don't disagree with that statement, sir. Lucas, thank you. I'd say I'd go even further. I'd go even further. I'd take it even a step further. I don't disagree with what you're saying, man. Thank you. I'd take it even a step further and realize the way America got into this situation is not like, not saying the things that you're saying are not things that need to be fixed, but that's not why America got into this mess, right? Israel is not how America got into this mess, and the end of Israel is not how America will get out of it. That's, show me undue foreign influence from any country, and I'll be there with you to fight it. But do you see my point? That's not how America got into all this mess.
Yeah, yes, I do. But can I say
more than
one
welcome
thing?
to. Please make your point.
Yeah, is that like, I don't know if you agree, but do you agree that Israel, the Jewish religion, okay, that they have a very, very stronghold on our social media, on our media in general, everything, like not everything, but most of it, like of what we see, of what is like on what is written, what is on the news, what is promoted in America, all that stuff. Would you agree that they have that? Because what I'm getting to is that I believe that they do.
That the Jews have what over the media?
Yeah, they have like control over this, like our way of thought. Like, the degenerate people that don't really know and can't really think for themselves, which is most people, obviously, especially in America. They take advantage of that, and Jews have a big part of it. But, however, they don't care because Israel's fine. But whenever something bad happens, oh my gosh.
It feels like you keep adding. It feels like you keep adding to it, and I don't know about all the other things you're saying because I sincerely don't know.
Okay,
are you talking? Wait. Let me just respond to the first part.
Yeah.
Are you asking me about are you saying like are there Jews who own the media? I think Kanye West already showed us that one. He showed us the red picture. Remember the red picture with the chart? With all those, pretty significant positions in the media. It's all Jewish. But what does that mean to you?
That means I believe that they have a big part of influencing the dumb people, the kids. In fact, if anybody can't really think for themselves, it's kids. So they're influencing everybody.
Remember when they used to say about kids and it being influenced by the media? Remember when they used to say, yeah, but what about parents? Isn't it the parents' job, blah, blah, blah? But if it's the Jews, the parents out of the window. Self-responsibility out of the window. Nope, they control your mind.
What if the parents
I'm not saying what I'm saying is I'm not saying that. Obviously, like I was saying earlier, groups are influenced by their beliefs. That this red chart I'm showing, there's people that are influenced by their beliefs of Jewish beliefs and all that. I don't disagree with that at all. And are we Christians and not Jewish? That's another good point. But you're telling me, you see what I was saying? It's like they used to say about kids. Well, where are the parents, though? Where are the parents? But all the responsibility flies out the window when it's Jews.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Nick, I do want to end with this, just because, I want to let you know, I'm not, saying, I'm oppressed or anything, I'm a victim of anything. It doesn't sound like you're saying that. They can do what they want. I just want to point out the obvious, that they're not doing it in a way that is, it is constitutional, it is lawful and everything. They're doing it. But, however, it is bringing degeneracy upon young people and people that cannot think for themselves. And they do have a big part of it. That's all I'm saying. I still love them. I still love my sister, even though she's converting like a weirdo. But
right on.
I still love them.
Right on, Lucas.
And, I guess, they did their job right. They're doing their job right.
Totally.
But they're not really doing it right. If they want to act like, we have all these, we talk to our rabbi once a week and we have to do this on Fridays and light the candles and and look at us, we're so freaking godly.
But don't judge her. She's being a good wife in a sense. I know it's a shame she betrayed the ones that came before her, but she's being a good wife in a sense, right? Because she's got to just follow the man's lead. So she's gonna do all the things. Why, you want her to rebel against her husband? You want her to be a bad wife?
No, she would, I guess I don't want my sister to she will just give up anything for something, right. I guess. She'll just give up anything for some guy or I don't think it's like she's in love with the guy. I think she's old now. She's 34 years old and now she's like, oh, I need a man and I'll do anything to have a man. That's what I think it is.
Way of the world, brother. Don't judge her. That's you know what I'm saying?
But I don't.
But it sounds like you're not right on, sir.
Yeah, no, I don't care about, like I told Hake, Hake thought, no, that's just a point. That's just a point that I'm making. I don't really care what my sister does. She wants to freaking fall in that hole. She could fall in that hole, go ahead. But I'm just saying that, it's obvious, it's apparent, and I don't like how our country is, divided into ethnicities.
Yeah, and it's even worse than that. It's totally atomized. Even people who say they're part of this group, let's say, the ethnicities are divided, but within the ethnicities there's fights. Oh yeah, there's Republican, Democrat, but within the parties there's fights. You know what I'm saying? It's all atomized.
Yeah.
Man, Fascinating stuff, though, Lucas. I do appreciate your call, man. Call me again. Feel free.
No, most definitely. And I hope everything is cool and I'm.
Everything's cool.
You know,
like,
you guys have a great show.
Don't believe everything you hear because everything's cool. There's just just stay calm and don't make assumptions. I do appreciate your call.
No. I definitely don't.
Appreciate it, Lucas.
All right.
Thank you.
I love you guys. You guys have a good one. All right.
Call me again. Fascinating. I mean, Kanye already showed us the chart, right, yo? But I don't know what that means. No one's going to tell me. No one's going to. You can't let someone just like get into your brain like that. Okay, folks? Doesn't matter what influence they have. Okay? And my thing about the media, too, is not so much like the degeneracy in the media is a mirror, folks. Okay, you want to get all mad at the Jews and be like, oh, yeah. And I've seen clips and interesting things, okay, of people who call themselves Jewish and they say that this promoting this stuff fits their ideology. It's very strange. But you want to be out here getting mad at them and all that, folks. The degeneracy in the media is a mirror to us. Let's be serious. And this is like so. This is so true. That it's going to make you want to blame. This is so true that it's going to make you want to ignore it and blame someone. But this is a mirror to us, folks. That degeneracy in the media is only there because it works. Because it gets the clicks. It works, folks. Let's be real. Okay, my thing about the red chart with Kanye is foreign influence and interests. Okay, let me. I've said this a few times already, but let me remind you, folks. Donald Trump, the Abraham Accords. I've just recently clued into the significance of the Abraham Accords. There was a pathway to peace. It was being worked out. Very fascinating. And that is the American interest. Our foreign interests are that, peace. And I'm not saying Israel doesn't have its, it's a right to defense and all that. But when our interest is peace and the Abraham Accords and all that was going on, and we got people going nuts over there on that side of the world, Palestinians, Jews, all of them. It's kind of not it's not in the U.S. interest anymore. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a little bit different. I believe those people in Israel, this is my opinion. This is just my personal opinion now. I think if it was up to me in an ideal world, they should have a home. Can't y'all have some love, y'all nationalists? Oh, I'm such a nationalist. Have some love. Don't you want the nationalism for the Jews? They should have a country. I want them to have a home. And I like that they have Bibi Netanyahu. People mad at him like, oh, he's a criminal. I'll hear some of them. I'll hear like conservatives. They're like, and he's under investigation. And the irony is completely lost on them that Trump is under investigation, under a corrupt government, blah, blah, blah. But they'll look at Bibi Netanyahu and be like, he's under investigation. This guy's under investigation. And this guy's supposed to, blah, 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 blah. Like, look. I'm not saying I agree with Bibi or every little thing he says, but I want a leader for us in this country just like them. And so I have love for the Jewish people. I want them to have nationalism and a Trump for them over there too. Have some love, folks. Is Nick also part juice? No, Willie Pal. I've done the ancestry. I actually have no juice in me. I do have some black in me, though. I actually have some black in me. This is maybe why I'm the blackest one here. But the title's up for grabs. We have some some actual black people on the network. Some have returned, and I don't have so much of an ego that I have to hold on to that title. So what was I saying? Foreign influence. Where was I? We the new Israel. Where was I? I mean, I guess I'll get to calls, huh? Let me finish this call. You guys following the show so far? Kind of interesting, no? What else? Should we get into something quick? I feel like I was about to get into something. We did pedestrians. People got no love. Foreign influence that want us in a war. Oh, yeah, the hospital fiasco. What should we get into? We're going to get into some funny things and fiascos over there. My apologies. Should have muted the mic there. And all that conflict going on over there. and the conflict going on within. Scott, but first I got Scott out of Arizona. Thank you for your call, Scott. You're on the air.
Howdy, Nick. How you doing?
All is well, Scott. Appreciate your call.
Beautiful. Yeah, I wanted to kind of comment on the first caller and then
Yes.
the last caller too, but
By
I
all
want to
means.
start out by saying, to a worm in sugar, the world is sugar. Have you ever heard that saying?
To a worm in sugar, the world is sugar. I've never heard that saying.
Yeah, it just means like your perspective controls your reality, right?
Interesting.
So is it
Makes a
Daniel
lot
or
of sense.
Dominic, that caller talking about women?
Yes, Daniel.
Right. So Daniel, I just wanted to say, like, if you think all the women are bad, then you're only going to see bad.
Yeah, man, that's
You know?
that's so true, man. I'm following you completely now.
Look deeper into your heart at what you're saying, because what I'm hearing, and again, this is my interpretation, my assumption, but what I'm hearing is you're jealous of all the black men around you because they're getting laid and they're getting the chicks, but they don't even care or respect them, and you want to care or respect them, and you're not getting any of them, right? And I get that, right? Like, I can relate to that. I've had those thoughts before myself, being like a single man. But what you're ultimately believing and what you're ultimately saying to yourself when you say things like, they're not worth it, is you're saying you're not worth it. And you're giving up inside. You're letting the devil tell you, don't even try, because it's not going to work anyway. And you're ultimately adopting the belief set of self-hatred.
Dang. Thank you, sir. Take the mic. Right on, man. I mean, you're just absolutely correct about what you're saying, because that's so true. When, like, before you, like Hake in the chat is saying, reminding us, you are your world. It really is true.
Yep.
You are your world. And what's deep about what you're saying is because this should be a reminder to all people that if you ever catch yourself saying anything like that in your mind or anywhere, oh, these people are so bad, these people, you should really take a moment to reflect. Why are you even saying these things? It shows your lack of understanding. It's like, did you forget that you too once, you know what I'm saying? We're blind on certain things. Like, don't you see everything that happened to you and how you got to where you got?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it betrays that, and you're showing that you actually have no understanding. You should thank you for that, man. Because if you
like
ever
saying
catch
things
yourself
like
saying those things, reflect.
Right? Saying the juice is not worth the squeeze really is saying you're not worth the effort. Right? Because ultimately, you're never going to find what you're looking for, ever, no matter what you're looking for in any context. Only God can bring you what you don't know you need. And that's the truth.
I think what you're saying is true, man. Right on. Yeah. You'll be out here saying the juice ain't worth the squeeze, and you don't even know what's in. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Yeah, when the reality is, if the juice ain't worth the squeeze, like, then you need to, get up and do something about it, because you're the one who's attracting or seeing what you see in the world. So if you start shifting what you're seeing, if you stop associating and identifying with seeing negativity, then you'll begin to see positivity. And there's truth and facts to what he's saying, right? Like,
right.
A lot of women nowadays are, they're reduced, they're degenerates. There's a lot of single mothers, when you get past 25, like, a lot of them are single mothers. But the reality is, thank goodness for the fact of that, because if we lived in a society where they didn't have those children, then there's still evil, bad women, but now they can trick normal dudes into thinking that they have the potential, or that they're currently a good woman, right? So the fact that they have these things that rule them out is actually a positive, not a negative, because then I'm not going to waste my time on a woman that doesn't want to submit to a man, and I know this one doesn't want to because she's a single mom. I'm following.
Right. That's so interesting, man. Now let's be real for a second, though. Maybe don't go. There's a wisdom here. If you're going around saying that juice ain't worth the squeeze, and go with this on this trip, there's a wisdom here in self-reflecting. But
Exactly.
but leave the single mothers alone. All right, fellas at home, just leave the single mothers. Just leave them alone. Leave them alone. Don't even think about juice, squeezing juice. Let them go through what they got to go through.
Yeah, and like we can all look at women and observe and judge their weakness, and men too. Like I work in an office environment, and it's so funny. Every time there's a meeting and someone brings something up, all the ladies got to be like, complimentary towards the person that's just doing their job. Like they're just doing their job, right? Like you can be appreciative, but like someone's leading and running a meeting right now. To interject all this praise and stuff is so unnecessary, right? It's just adding fluff, and it's all emotional. When the reality is, like, we're all appreciative that everyone's doing their job.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. If anything, if you're getting praise from your girl, that's a sign something's wrong.
Right.
That's a sign you don't stand for anything, man.
Absolutely. And I think it comes down to this, and like to talk about both callers is like everything is a test, right? Everything is a test, especially every thought you get, every thought is sent to you. Because ultimately, if you identify with that, you failed the test.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Making sense. Making hella
Last
sense.
thing, I got another segment suggestion for you.
Hit me. Because I was thinking of arsenic the other day. I literally woke up this morning and I said, I literally woke up and I was like, arsenic, you know what? I like it. I don't know if I like it as much as the energy I gave it to Scott. I literally woke up thinking this is so strange. I feel like I gave it the wrong energy. You know what I'm saying? But hit me with the other one.
Okay, so back in the day, women used to be called dimes because men understood that abroad, a woman is a dime a dozen. They're all the same, right?
Okay.
And you could do a segment where you're like exposing thoughts and thirst traps.
Yes.
And okay, men, let's not fall for this stuff. And you can call it nickels and dimes.
Let's go. I wrote that in all caps. Okay, nickels and dimes. Ladies, we're about to end your careers.
Yeah, all the thoughts. There you go.
Thank you,
man. Much love, y'all.
Appreciate your call, Scott. Call me again.
Yep.
Nickels and dimes, ladies. Look, ladies. You want to understand, man, I'm here for you. I'm here for you, ladies. I'm here for you because I'm here for you to tell you a little bit about what men are. What men are, not who we are, but what men are and what we go through, a little bit of the struggle. Because in reality, men are perfect creatures. Men are perfect creatures, Bill. You don't agree with me? Bill's laughing. Men are perfect creatures, ladies, except for that one thing. Ladies. Right, ladies? Ladies, you don't want to give up that control, that power. You don't want to give it up. Otherwise, you'd like to be us. You know what I'm saying? What's up, folks? Anyways, let's move on here. What should we do? What should we do now? What should we do next? I'm laughing because of the chat a little bit. Y'all got to let the commercials play to help Nick. Hey, what's up, Rachel from England? What's up, Rachie? My friend Rachel. It's good to see you in the chat. How you been? It's good to see you in the chat. Like, for example, ladies, let me tell you something about what men are. Let me tell you, here's one, ladies. About what men are, not who we are. Men will do anything to protect your feelings. Okay, hold on. Follow me. Men will they lie to you to protect your feelings. You see what I'm saying, ladies? Men, they lie for you. They lie for you. They don't, it's not to hurt, okay, because they don't want to hurt you. Men don't want to hurt their women. No man wants to do that. No man wants to hurt their women. So we lie. But it's for you. See, women is different. Women, they'll lie or cheat because they're mad, to destroy, to hate the man. And I'm not saying the man's not destructive in his actions too, but you got to understand, in the fallen state, both are fallen. At least the man, in his fallen state, his whole thing is, it's for you. So, there I go pulling my shirt. But now I'm aware. Now I'm aware and we're killing the spirit. Okay, let's move on. Adele, speaking of, maybe we don't have to do anything important right now. We'll leave the important stuff for later, okay? I'm feeling this kick right now. I'm feeling like I want to talk about Adele. I'm feeling like I want to talk about something different here, okay? You follow me? Let's get into this. Let's get into this. Adele. Talking about the ladies, Adele, exclusive from Daily Mail. You got to love Daily Mail. Tabloid, the far left Daily Mail. What does Hake call them? What does the Hake Report call Daily Mail? Sloppy. The sloppy Daily Mail. I like the Daily Mail because they grab everything. They will report it all. If it's a lie, if it's so sloppy. But at least they do it all, and then I can just verify afterwards. So they're like a one-stop shop for me sometimes. So, exclusive, Daily Mail, Adele. You know Adele, that singer. Didn't she lose a bunch of weight? I was borderline alcoholic for quite a lot of my 20s, Adele reveals. She gave up drinking 3 months ago, but says, it's boring. I miss it so much. Ladies, what's up with these women in their memoirs? They're out here just putting out all their business. They love doing this, especially when it's about someone else, but also about themselves. But, you know, pity. But explosive bombshell memoir that reveals, like, ladies, you got to know you're doing something wrong. You're on a Daily Mail headline that says bombshell memoir reveals. You got to know you're going down some wrong path, right? Adele revealed she has stopped drinking for 3.5 months while talking at her Vegas show this weekend. She claimed she was borderline alcoholic when she was in her 20s and admitted she was finding her newfound sobriety boring and admitted she misses alcohol. I stopped drinking. I was literally borderline alcoholic, she says, but I miss it so much I cut out caffeine. Talking to a fan who was drinking, she said, so enjoy your whiskey sour. I'm very, very jealous, she says. Brits are drunks, says Carlota. Is that true, Rachel from England? Rachie from England, my friend. Is this Carlota in the chat? Is this Carlota who's beneath you in the chat here? And I just mean beneath in the chat, not as a person. Is Carlota off base, Rachie, our friend from England? In saying Brits are drunks? Or am I starting a chat war? I don't mean to do that. Not true, says Rachie from England. Thank you for clearing that up. So, Adele, okay, she's saying it's boring. And I just find, there's something funny about this. There's something so funny about this. About that. I've heard this before. People who kind of give up drinking or something like that. They'll be like, it's so boring. It's so boring. It's funny because we know what we're doing. Here's the funny thing about it. Because we know what we're doing. Like we know we're hurting ourselves. We know this. Hassan was making a funny joke, or he was just talking about drinking caffeine and drinking Coca-Cola. And you guys know I love Coca-Cola. I love me my Coca-Cola. And he was saying that the caffeine brings him chest pains, heart palpitations. And I was saying, I was just making a joke. I'm like, oh, that's normal. Just push through it. You just got to push through it. Oh, he's like, yeah, but I stopped with the caffeine because, my chest started getting kind of tight, started kind of hurting. And I'm like, oh, don't worry. Just push through that. Just push through that. You'll be fine. But the truth is, we know what we're doing, right? We know it. We feel the chest. You smoking, okay? You smokers? Smokers in the chat? You know it. You feel it. You feel it. You're hurting yourself. You know what you're doing. But you know you're doing it. And you keep going. Look at this. I grew up in Canada. You guys know I grew up in Canada. Canada cigarette box. Let me show you what they look like in Canada. Did you know that this is what a cigarette... You guys know that there's warnings on cigarettes. You guys already know this, right? Oh, it's gonna... It could hurt you. You could develop cancer. It's a problem. At least that's what they used to say. Let me show you what boxes... And this is graphic, okay, folks? If you don't like graphic scenes of cancerous stuff, don't look. 3, 2, 1. These are the boxes in Canada. They're like, no, you're definitely gonna die. No, it's not. It's a certainty. Your mouth is going to rot. You are going to die of cancer if you smoke these. That's what they say in Canada. They're so gruesome. And vous fumez, ça se voit. That's in French. That's French for do you smoke? This is you. This is what it literally says. Do you smoke? Well, this is you. Ça se voit. I think that's what it says. But we know what we're doing, but we still do it. We know what we're doing. Isn't that so fascinating? And and we say all sorts of weird stuff to make it okay. LMAO makes me want to smoke now, says Raymond. Stop! Don't listen to the thoughts, Raymond. But it's so interesting because you say all sorts of weird things. Like, I'm not going to be an athlete. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to be a sprinter. I'm not going to try out for the Olympics, right? I'm not going to be, what am I, a football player? What am I, some athlete? What am I going to be? LeBron James all of a sudden? Well, and that's the mind. That's the mind. Adele, stop it. Don't say it's boring. I miss it so much. Don't claim that. Don't make that claim. You don't really, you don't miss it. You're taking that drink going, I know I'm dying. I know I'm dying and I know something's wrong and I know that I'm looking for life and I'm finding life in whatever I'm doing. That's one thing. But it's another thing to say, it's boring. I miss it so much and say that out loud and claim it. Okay. Adele, just take a step back and don't just say those things. Don't just say those things. It's like I was showing you. It's a strange relationship with the thoughts and this thing that we don't want to do. That should be enough to demonstrate to you it's not as simple as I miss it and you know what I'm saying? Anyways. Nick, you just said you got black DNA. You should be winning races. I thought I was pretty fast, but I've been beating races kind of recently. Being enlightened till I rise, man. Thank you for the Rumble rant over on Rumble. Thank you for that. You can support me on Rumble, rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. If the juice ain't worth the squeeze, maybe you just got to realize you don't like the juice. Duh. Thank you, Being enlightened till I rise, for that. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support. And thanks, Carver, for the support and the super chat. I do appreciate it. Says, the AC is a conspiracy, some kind of secret code. Take, can you get the AC? Wink, wink. Nick obnoxiously coughs when someone is smoking nearby. Hey, what's up, folks? Having yourselves a little smoke, huh? Having yourselves a little smoke? Nice. Must be nice. Must be nice. I'm not like that. What? all judgmental. Oh, hey, smokers, you having fun with your cancer sticks? Oh, what are you doing? What do you got there? Cancer stick? No, cringe. So cringe. Okay. Let me show you something kind of funny. And kind of brings it to the Israel, Palestine, and conflict stuff a little bit again. Do I really want to... Wait, do I want to switch gears just yet? Do I want to switch gears? Okay. I do. Check this out. You've heard this guy's name. You've heard his name. On fire. Thanks, Christine Stewart. Nice to see you in the chat. Nice to see you. Right on. What's up, Karen? You've heard this man's name uttered. And there was a fascinating little moment with this man and the BBC. I found this funny. I'm talking about Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire host, legend at this point, conservative radio podcast, right? Daily Wire, they're killing it. Okay, conservative podcasting, etc. At the outset of this conflict, a lot of emotions are going around. Okay, and some of you are saying Ben Shapiro's being a bit emotional lately. And it kind of seems a little bit like that. A lot of people, emotions they identify with this or that. Don't judge them. You know how emotions are. So don't judge them. Don't have a judgment on Ben Shapiro. He had an interview recently on the BBC. And there was a fascinating moment with the interviewer and Ben Shapiro. They asked him, because, okay, they brought Ben Shapiro on, and the interviewer in the BBC has an issue with Ben Shapiro. This interviewer has an issue with Ben Shapiro. According to this interview, he's saying that Ben Shapiro is saying bombastic things and making things emotional and angry. And he confronts him about one of these things that he said. And I want to highlight it here because it's quite funny. And I want to remind you, Ben Shapiro owes Jesse Lee Peterson a lunch, and it's friendly. It's all friendly. Don't get all in your head and start making assumptions. But he owes him a lunch, and Ben Shapiro should have taken a note from Jesse, and I'm going to show you why. You're going to love it. Because the interviewer here asks Ben Shapiro about a comment he made about Arabs destroying and Jews building. Does that remind you of anything? The blacks destroy, the whites build. Let's watch, okay? Let's watch.
I've been trying to point out some of the things you've said that seem to me to help to stoke that anger. For example, you said Israelis like to build, Arabs like to bomb crap and live in open sewage.
Well, as I say in an article entitled, here's a list of all the giant, bad, dumb things I've ever said.
Was that dumb?
Well, yes, that's a dumb tweet. And not only, but it is also important to mention that the next few tweets clarify that tweet is specifically referring to the Hamas leadership. Which,
let me clarify.
By the way, a BBC I've seen is relatively reticent to condemn.
No, actually, it wasn't what you...
Folks, I wanted to show you this because Ben Shapiro, if you're listening, you should have taken a little cue from the great legendary Jesse Lee Peterson when he was asked about his comments about whites building and blacks destroying. Ben, you got to be alpha when you're saying things like this, okay? You got to be alpha. I know you're trying to clarify, being like, well, let me clarify. This was under tweets that I thought were kind of stupid. And no, man, no. The mob doesn't care about that, Ben. Have a little toughness. Take a cue from Jesse Lee Peterson. You got to be alpha when you're saying these things, man. And you're not saying any lies. Don't tuck your tail between the legs, Ben Shapiro. Take a cue from JLP, and maybe pay him that. Maybe invite him out to lunch. Maybe settle that. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. Take a cue from JLP. You're not saying anything wrong, okay? Let's be real. The spirit, you know about the spirit, and the spirit that builds and the spirit that destroys. So take a cue from JLP, huh? And don't cave into emotion, and don't be so emotional, huh? The BBC said he's adding to the anger, and all emotional people, no matter what conflict it is, no matter what's going on, are adding to the anger. All emotional people are adding to it, the anger of any situation, and this one as well. They call it war. That doesn't mean you need to get emotional. And add to the anger of the situation, because the world is an angry place, like Trump said. It's an angry place. So, Ben Shapiro destroys. I love those titles. I don't think we ever got over the clickbait conservative titles of those years. But isn't that funny? Isn't that kind of a funny situation? You said the Israelis build and the Arabs destroy. You want to clarify? On that point, though, I want to highlight something someone in the chat said, and I can't pull it up because I can't remember who said it. And it's not a problem, by the way. If I'm talking about you, don't take it personally. You can call my show. We could hash things out. Don't take things I say personally, folks. But if this is you, I'm talking about you. Someone in the chat said something about, oh, talk about blacks all you like, but nitpick about the Jews. Like as if Jesse is out here. Oh, what's wrong with the blacks? What's wrong with the blacks? Like that's different. Come on, dude. If you really think Jesse Lee Peterson is blaming black people when he says that, you're blind. You're just like these people out here saying Trump is Israel first. You mean Zion? You mean Zion Trump? You mean Donald Jew? I don't know what y'all are saying, but there's no helping you. You're blind. You don't get it. You're not gonna get it. You're just not gonna get it. It's about love. You're just not gonna get it. If you think Jesse's blaming when he says those things, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. It's not about blaming. Because what does he say? Okay? He doesn't blame. 888-775-3773. Am I wrong? Am I off base here? I welcome it. I welcome your calls. You know what I'm saying? Yo. Anyways. What are y'all saying in the chat? I'm just reading chat a little bit for my listeners, my lovely podcast listeners who probably constantly confused just listening to my show. You can listen to my show, podcast. I believe it's distributed on Spotify. And if you like listening to the show after the fact, maybe you can't find it on Spotify, you will find it at American Anchor Baby. Let me make sure. American Anchor Baby.substack.com. That's where you can find my Substack, where I do post my audio podcast. I know many enjoy just listening to it. It's an interesting little platform. I got to learn how to use it better and really give my podcast listeners a little bit extra, something special, huh? But I do appreciate it. Nick is okay with the browning of the world. That's so funny. You guys just go with thoughts. It's like you haven't learned anything. What's the point of even listening? Why are you even listening to the Bond Network if you're going to go with thoughts? You know what I mean? You don't want to get better. Amazing. How is he blaming? How is he blaming? Tell me how he's blaming. Be clear, because you're not a clear person. I'm talking to you. How is he blaming? Anyways. Okay, let's do something. What shall we do next? What shall we do today? They talking about hospitals. They're saying they bombed a hospital. They're saying hey, thank you, Rachel. They're saying they're bombing hospitals out here. They're having a dead baby war. Look at these dead babies. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? I see your dead babies, and I raise you more dead babies. I raise you my dead babies. Oh, yeah? Well, you didn't consider my trap card. More dead babies. I have dead babies, too. It's a dead baby fight. It's a dead baby fight. Who has more dead babies? I have more dead babies. America has the most dead babies. It's called abortion, but we don't want to talk about that one. That's okay. That kind of beheading, that's okay. That's legal. Doctors are doing that one. Don't look at me like that. Okay? But people are having a dead baby fight. And they're saying there was a recent, if you don't know what I'm referring to, basically, so right now, a little bit, what's the latest on this saga? Gaza. The Gaza saga. The Gaza saga. Gaza getting turned into Zaza saga. Okay. Gaza. We're talking about Palestine, Israel. And you know what's going on? They're fighting out there. Them boys really hopping off the porch, okay? Shout out $1 Million. Shout out Sam Hyde. I'm stealing his joke. So I'm talking about the conflict a little bit. And what happened as of late, recently, is there was a hospital in Gaza that was blown up. They're saying 500 people dead. That claim is also being disputed. Everything's being disputed right now. So, folks, keep an air about you. It's the fog of war. I've heard this before. I'm only repeating something, but it seems true. The first casualty of war is truth. But let's be serious. It's seeming like that really is true, right? But we're talking about this strike in Gaza that blew up a hospital. People are up in arms about it. They're saying Israel did it. They're saying Hamas did it. And both sides are using it as fuel. Oh, Israel, they are committing a genocide. Oh, blah, 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 blah. They're claiming Hamas did it. They're claiming it was a mistake. These rockets were not meant for the hospital, but, you know, these Hamas people, they kind of bungled the rocket strike, and one of them hit their own hospital. And it's a mess. Anybody know if that's a war crime? I can't seem to really find it. The only thing I could really find was that hospital bombings being prosecuted as war crimes is apparently a pretty difficult thing to do in the last 30 to 40 years, according to this scientific journal thing from the BMJ I'm reading. Take everything with a grain of salt, folks. But they're saying that prosecuting crimes about hospitals is quite difficult already in the international stage, and that's its own can of worms. Who gave them the keys to the world? Anyways, maybe I guess Woodrow Wilson did. That's a story for another day. But I don't know. They're saying it's a war crime, and I don't know. And it's horrible. You know, if there's innocence. Nobody wants to see innocents dead, right? I've shown you some people in Israel, though, who seem to be okay with that. They don't see them as innocent, though, which is quite fascinating. There's people out here literally judging the heart of every Palestinian and people judging the heart of every Jew, which is not a very Christian thing to do. Am I wrong here? Am I off base? Call me. But this hospital saga is there's a big fight right now. They're saying... They're wondering who done it so that they could be ready to be like, see, I told you. I told you my dead babies mattered more than their dead babies. But here's the thing about the whole thing that I was left wondering. Because they call them terrorists, they call them commandos, and it's interesting depending on what side you are on. You see a soldier or you see a terrorist. Fascinating. But when did am I ignorant here, folks? Is this my ignorance? Should I just shut up? Because wouldn't you want to bomb a hospital? Like, isn't that what you want to bomb? Am I just totally ignorant here? Folks, isn't that what you want to bomb? The enemy is being treated there. Yeah, you bomb hospitals. Am I stupid here? Bombing a hospital, it's like, again, it's more of this thing where we're getting, I don't know, they're trying to make us emotional over things that we don't understand and we don't regularly see. Yesterday, we didn't care about hospitals being bombed during a war. I don't know, maybe if you asked someone a couple weeks ago, they might say, well, kind of makes sense. It's a war. But now, all of a sudden, bombing hospitals ain't cool. And maybe there's some international law and precedent about that, but I don't care about all that. Yes, you're stupid, says Maina. Okay, maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about in this case. Whatever. Yes, you're stupid. History's most brutal war criminal, General Nick. Atrocities, they call them atrocities. I can't get them all right, folks. I can't hit them all out of the park. Maybe I'd be a brutal war general. What am I going to say? That's the enemy. I might be a pretty brutal war general. You know, they say Gonzalez, the last name Gonzalez, they say, someone already said this. Last name is Gonzalez. Thank you, John Frederick, one of my core viewers who knows the story well. I do appreciate that, John Frederick. It brings me some joy that people know things about me so deeply. It's not that deep. But my last name, Gonzalez, it means war general. The meaning of that name, I believe, Gonzalez. The name Gonzalez, meaning origin from the name Gundislavus, meaning the battlefield. Maybe that's why I love fighting. I do love a good fight. Nick drops this every Christmas party. Why do you gotta take out the wind in my sails, John Frederick? Why do you gotta deflate me like that, man? Why do you gotta take the wind out of my sails? Controversial but effective. Would be pretty cool if instead of war, it would just be 1v1 between leaders. Yeah, MPK. Someone was saying something interesting. I don't know who it was. I don't know who said this, where I heard this. Someone was proposing a rule that, I don't know, like government officials can't vote for a war unless they send their own children to the war or they themselves have to serve or something like that. I kind of agree. You know what I mean? 1v1 me, huh? World leaders should just 1v1 each other, okay? Anyways, let me get to a call, huh? Latin A in Cali, thank you so much for your call. Go ahead.
Hi, Nick. Everything that you were saying, you were asking, is this Christian to say these things that you were saying about, clumping everyone into one group and labeling them as one thing. It reminds me totally of when people say that because we're in California, like Hake and JLP or myself, they always want to say, oh, aren't you guys a bunch of libtards and lefties and very liberal out there, And it's not for everybody. And I don't think it's very Christian to, judge us all as one, I think each person can be judged by their character, basically.
Right. For me, the wisdom is in I'm not going to be a stickler about language and be like, you can't say all, you know what I mean? Because there's general ways of speaking that people understand, okay? That being said, though, there's a wisdom in not all, but most. Because you're understanding, you're showing an understanding of the heart and the individual. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I love that saying that Jesse says.
There's a wisdom to that because, it could be most. It doesn't mean you can't point out a group is acting a certain way, but that just means. But when you understand the wisdom here is that, for example, I could show you videos of Jews out here saying that the Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. You see what I'm saying? And they're out there with their Orthodox curls and their hats, and they call themselves Jewish, but they're out there saying, no, what Israel is doing is a genocide. It's wrong. My point being that you can't judge all like that. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And like even with Christians, not all Christians are good. A lot of Christians give Christians a bad name.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for taking my call, Nick.
No problem, Latine. Appreciate your call. She's right about what she's saying because, listen, you got people. Oh, I don't know if it sounded like she was saying bye, right? I hung up on her. Call me again, Latine. Kylie, thank you. I mean, it's true as she's saying, folks, because like you hear this about you hear this about I'm a priest. Oh, past Christian Catholic priests who molest children. And it's like a little bit, that was hidden. And then we got priests out here molesting children. Hold up. That's not a priest. That's a liar. You know what I'm saying, folks? Like, there's what you call yourself, and then there's what you are. Like, that's just, I know that's like simple logic, but anyways. Jew is all because denial of Christ. Fascinating. Jews is all because denial of Christ. Jews is all because denial of Christ. Isn't there Jews for Jesus? Yeah, Hake. If there's Jews for Jesus, they call themselves Messianic Jews. So is it a religion or a nation of people? I think it's a nation of people. I think the Israelis, the Jews, made that quite clear. 100 years ago, they said, hey, we want a nation of us. We're people. We're a people, a nation. And yeah, there's a religious aspect. But then it means that doesn't mean Jew is because denial of Christ. Like, man, what a shame. What a shame. Being in light till I rise, thank you. Thank you for that. Another pedestrian struck by vehicle per citizen app. Wow. Look what I'm telling you, y'all. People out here, hi. Keep your head on a swivel. But don't think that you're cool. Don't think that you're like a cool, like operative, like tactical. You got your head on a swivel. Just cross the street and be careful and pay and watch your surroundings. Okay? You guys, that's so funny. Denial of Christ. You don't even know what that means. Denial of Christ. You don't even know what that means. You think that means, to call yourself something. Okay. Folks, that's the show. What can I say? Can I get into something fun? We got 5 minutes. Can I get into something silly? Can't really get into anything big. The refugees, they want to send us the refugees. This is what I mean about all. Check it out. Ron DeSantis. Look, this is what I mean about all. Check it out. Let me show you a video. Ron DeSantis talking about the conflict.
Into this country.
Talking about refugees, bringing in the Gazans, bringing in the Gaza people.
As refugees. I am not going to.
This is horrible volume. What is this volume?
From Gaza into this country.
This is horrible volume.
I am not going to do that. If you look at how they behave,
Where the heck is it? Let's see if I can find it somewhere else.
Into this country.
I'm trying to show you a clip of Ron DeSantis saying all Palestinians are anti-Semitic. Every single one of them. Here it is, I think.
But what Biden's going to do.
Okay, he's talking, I believe he's referring to this notion to bring the refugees to America.
know what Biden's going to do, but we cannot accept people from Gaza into this country as refugees. I am not going to do that. If you look at how they behave, not all of them are Hamas, but they are all anti-Semitic. None of them believe in Israel's right to exist. None of them know what Biden's going to do.
All anti-Semitic. Like, that's like these people out here saying every single protester who's got the Palestinian flags out here in these countries. There was a post the other day saying, look at these people out here protesting. Every single one of these wants to kill Jews. Isn't that crazy? And I'm watching this going like, how do you know every single person in that crowd wants to kill Jews? Most people just have like this thing that just pro-Palestine and anti-Israel. You know what I mean? How do you know the heart of every person? That's not very Christian. Accepting Jesus. Accepting Jesus. So if I want to accept Jesus, let me ask you, if I wanted to accept Jesus, what do I got to do? Do I got to call myself a Christian following your logic? Oh, so if I call myself a Christian, I accept him. But if I call myself something else, I don't. So that's all I got to do then. I just got to call myself a Christian, huh? Is that the logic? If I call myself a Christian, I've accepted Jesus. Is that the logic? Or are you going to listen, or are you going to be honest and reflect and realize, well, that's not how you accept Jesus. You know this. You know that's not true. They've been trying to do that for years. Come on down, accept Jesus. Come on down and accept Jesus. Confess him with your tongue. You know that doesn't work. Or should I follow your logic, huh? Should I follow your logic? Oh, I accept Christ because I say I'm a Christian. When are you gonna, did you forget? It's an internal thing. Jesus was trying to tell you that. He was trying to tell you it's about the heart. Folks, that's the show. I do appreciate you tuning in today. I had fun. Catch me tomorrow for more American Anchor Baby. We got American Anchor Baby coming at you Thursday, 12 o'clock. We got Jesse Lee Peterson's show, Bible Thumper Thursday. We love Bible Thumper Thursday around here. Don't miss it. And we got the Hake Report at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Bond Network, yo. We keep it going, folks. We keep it going. We love it. What are we going to do, huh? Catch me tomorrow for more American Anchor Baby. We're going to get out of here. We're signing off. If you're new here, it takes me a little bit. I love being with you guys. It's a little painful to sign off, so I gotta like say bye and be like, okay, bye. I'm like the last person at the party. I'm the last person at the party. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, bye. Get the hint. All right, folks, that's it from me. The ending song might be a little low, so you know, if you like listening to the ending song, you might want to turn it up. But otherwise, folks, I will catch y'all tomorrow for more American Anchor Baby. Again, thank you. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.